Alright guys, you just saw us pull the truck in, and real quick update, you guys can see the rear end supported by jack stands. I actually just picked up a new set of Daytona 3-ton jack stands, so that's supporting the back, and we have the wheels off. We have the wheels off because we have to do a rear suspension upgrade. You guys will know that we have that trip going up to Indiana for the half-mile event, and we're towing the Corvette. Well, you know, the Corvette's back here. You guys might have actually already seen that video, so I'm not sure when the order of this is going to come out. But I'm filming this before we leave because I want this suspension kit to be on the back of the truck before we leave. But I think you guys will have already seen the half-mile video, and this will come out after that. So I'm kind of filming ahead of time a little bit. But yeah, so what we have here is a road active suspension rear kit for our Silverado 1500. The item number is 4611-HD. This is going to be for the 1990 through like 24 or 25 1500. And basically what this is going to be, it's going to be kind of like an add-a-leaf suspension to the back of the truck. If you guys haul even the slightest load, the rear suspension is real soft, and the truck will like to sag really bad. When you put a 2,000 pound trailer with a 3,000 pound car, I think the Corvette and trailer combo will probably be between 5,000 and 6,000 pounds. Well, you know, that's going to sag real bad. And we've got a 10-hour trip, and I don't want to be driving like this for 10 plus hours. Riding on the bump stops. I ordered this from Amazon, which is funny because Road Active Suspensions is located near my old house. They're down in Whitehall or Steel Creek area of Charlotte, and I used to live literally 5 minutes from their shop. So kind of funny that I think this got shipped to Pennsylvania and then it got shipped here. Something like that. But anyway, so you got the typical box within a box. Let's go ahead, get these straps cut. And that should be about it. Let's see what else we got to lift up. Oh, there you go. So this is basically going to be a pretty simple kit. How this is going to work, we are going to be, there's actually two spaces in here. There's a white one and a black one. There's the white one. And you're going to use that to basically measure the coil springs. This eyelet piece will actually loop around the back of the leaf spring. And then the other side, this will wrap toward the front. This will go onto the giant U-bolts that they have that can basically hold the axle to the leaf spring. And yeah, then you basically adjust it. So, all right guys, we're over on the passenger side. If you guys can see through the truck, you see that bracket right there? We've already done the driver's side, and this was a real simple install. First thing you gotta do is you gotta take the bolt, the nut, and the little support piece off. Take that off the front because this is gonna go in front of the leaf spring and the lift block right there. Then the back, you basically need to hold the spring and pull this threaded rod out so that the spring, this whole assembly moves down, because when they ship this to you, they have compacted it for shipping. But you want to probably expand this. The instructions said like 5 or 6 inches. I've probably done 3 or 4, so we're gonna unscrew it a little bit more. All right, now we have this just laying in place. You guys will be able to see that the eyelet part just goes over the back of the leaf spring, kind of like we said. Just make sure that it's centered on there. Then the front part just lays over the spring, and then this goes over the 2 U-bolts, and then this bottom part, I'm gonna lift it up right here. You're gonna wanna use the second hole right here. I saw some guys use the first one. I saw a couple other guys use the second one. We go with the second one. All right, so I've centered it up over the back. You guys can see it's centered over the spring. Then I have fed the bolt and then the middle support piece back there, and then just put your nylock locking washer on the front of that. And this will actually be the first bolt that we tighten up. You're going to want it to be tight against the lift block, and then it's going to be tight against the bottom of the leaf spring. All right, to draw up that slack, like I said earlier, I just grabbed and held the threaded rod tight. Then I just spun the spring, and what that does, it brought this rod back up. That's pretty much all you got to do. This is a 19mm bolt, and then this back, it's a 10mm hex. It's a pretty thick hex socket, so I'm not sure if you'll have this. I just happen to have this because I've got a full kit. You know, righty tighty, lefty loosey, tighten the nylock nut down here, and that'll be the first part done. All right, for the last part, I'm not gonna be able to actually show it because I don't have 3 hands. These 2 lock nuts up here, get them tight, and at the end of the rod, put a 14mm socket and basically tighten this thing up. So what we're gonna be doing, you guys can kind of start seeing a gap there, but you're basically gonna tighten the bottom of the shaft. And what that's gonna do, that is gonna start to tighten the coil spring And we're gonna wanna take that coil spring and get enough of a gap for this white little disc. We're gonna put that disc between each coil, and we wanna make sure that, you know, that it does loosen up. But to get this to loosen up, we have to actually wind up the spring. So like I was saying, we're just gonna tighten this bottom up. The shaft isn't spinning, but the coil spring will start to open up like we were saying. And you're gonna have to be here for, you know, out here for a little while, because, you know, I think it's either the size of a nickel or a dime for that white piece. I think it's actually a nickel, so that is kind of thick. So, you know, we're gonna be out here for a while, tighten this spring down until you get the proper gap. All right, so I have got some tension on here, but this does, you know, slide between each one. Now we're almost done. All we gotta do is tighten the two jam nuts down, thread them back down to where it's on top of the shock, and then the top one, tighten that down and you're good to go. And that'll be it for the road active suspension install. All right guys, we have finished the install on both sides. You can see the wheels are back on and the truck is no longer in the air on jack stands. I've probably been out here for an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Hasn't been too long of an install, and once you figure out one side, the other side goes by a lot quicker because you've already figured out everything. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Pending you don't have any issues over the next couple weeks or any issues on that trip, we might do an update, we might not, I'm just not sure. But if we do, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. That way you guys know when I upload a new video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, make sure you check out the links down below. I will have a link directly to Amazon because that's where I bought this kit. Provide a link for that, and also make sure you check out our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. We have that new ZR2 and that new Corvette merch on there, and that's pretty much gonna be it. Thanks guys, have a great one.